So yeah, what's the word?
You feeling good, man. Feeling good. Did my midday workout, got a lot of cue sheets done. We back in it, you know what I'm saying? you know, they've been showing us love, you know what I mean? They've been definitely showing us love, and I appreciate that, you know what I'm saying? We got a quick comment from the game, on one of our posts. When we talked about, why is he not being respected in the top five? And that was dope. Shout out the game, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out game.
Just, just engaging in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's good conversation. That's what we need. We need more of that. You know what I mean?
Most
So,
definitely.
got to make sure things don't fall apart because things can fall apart.
Got to make sure things don't fall apart because things can fall apart. I am Frank Fadi, the anomaly sworn solemnly high snobby. What up, counselor?
Man, Counselor Polly Rob, you already know. Local astronauts, that's all you need to know.
All you need to know. I love how this guy's just all you need to know all the time. That's all you need to know. There's a lot to know about what Rob has going on over in his corner. But he's mum's the word about it, so we don't want to, go too far into
Gotta
that.
do your homework. Gotta do your homework. I will leak something. Um, we actually are we're putting out a I would say it's like a compilation of records. We're putting it out really, really soon. You know what I'm saying? We're almost at the finish line with that. And it's a project. I guess I could share the title of it.
Come on.
Yeah, so this is a local astronauts variety type of project where it's a lot of records that's coming out that we probably had in the vault for a while, or just certain records that didn't make other projects. And The title is uh can I remember the title now? Uh the title is songs that we finally unleashed. You know what I mean? So it's STFU. STFU.
Okay.
And you know what that stands for if in the modern world. You know what I mean? So it's songs that we finally unleashed. You know what I mean? And you can get a variety of different flavors. Artists that you know, a lot of artists that you know, artists that you don't know. And then, we just playing in our local astronaut space, you know what I mean, which is the galaxy itself. So yeah, it's coming really soon. Coming really soon.
Hey man, let's get an episode in, listening party episode.
Definitely,
Right.
definitely.
Tight. On the rap scene side, we got always interviews, always writing, always articles. We got Compton OG, Daddy V coming up. He was, the mixtape king back in the 80s, and has done his thing. He went on to become Snoop's documentarian. His personal cameraman, went to Japan with him, went all on tour with him. Has
Nice.
an archive of images and photos and videos and just amazing stuff. We're trying to get him to put into a book. We got an interview with OG Daddy V coming up. Again, we got Lit Poppy coming up. Interview with Lit Poppy.
Lit Poppy.
Shout out, it was recorded a few weeks before the documentary 3 dropped. We didn't know that he was gonna be on there. So once again, shout out to Lit. But yeah, check for it all coming up soon, people. Thank y'all for checking us out. Starting up. There's it's taking over, man. Dr. Dre, the doc himself, Chronic 2001, The Chronic, G-Funk era, Mastermind, NWA, Compton legend, music legend. Confirms that he does use AI in his music. I really don't mind some AI elements. Like he's kind of describing how he uses it. It always just goes to, if you're gonna full on do an AI project, and as long as it sounds good, if it doesn't make me feel like icky, like and uncanny, like they said, which was the problem with Rubbers with the Phoenix Flexion joint,
right?
But also Dre, he didn't just start using AI. He just confirmed it. He's been using AI
for sure
to make music for a long time. What you say about that?
Well, first off, Dr. Dre's style of how he produces is very unique. So there's a couple of things. Number one, he's always brought along other producers to help him produce for certain elements that, you know, if there's a piano riff or something that he needs, he'll call somebody for that. You know what I mean? If there's other styles of beat making that he wants to have on a project, he might call another producer to come fulfill that. Reason being is because Dr. Dre believes in team records. He believes in collectively working together to make a record hot. Although
that's why people like to point out that the game doesn't have a solid Dre record, because every one that he's produced on has had another producer attached to it.
Right. And I mean, the mystique about Dre is that he is, first off, let's get this out the way. Dre is a complete producer, 100%. He can make from the beat all the way down to the vocal producing, all the way down to mixing and mastering the record. Let's get that out the way. He is a complete producer. You can't take nothing away from him on his production skills. With that being said, when he's working on multiple projects, multiple albums, even his company, you know, he signs producers to be a part of putting things together, right? So he loves to do team records. And if there's something that he's missing, he wants to fulfill that, whether it's by a person and sometimes whether it's through equipment or AI and stuff like that. Dre has a very unique way of thinking because the majority of the music industry, they don't like to work as a team all the time. Not on the production side. You know, the world of the super producers, it was always this one producer taking over everything. The Timberlands, the Pharrells, yada, yada, yada. But if we really dig deep, if those who know, you know, that a lot of these records, a lot of these albums that people put together, there's other producers a part of it. Now that we got that out the way, with AI, we've talked about it a couple of times on the show. It's how you use AI, which makes it, in my opinion, either a valid approach or not. If you're using AI to complete the entire production or complete the entire song, you're doing it wrong.
Right.
You're doing yourself a disservice. You are taking the element of what it takes to actually make a record in its entirety, and you're pushing it to the side. You're trying to take the short way out. You're trying to cheat yourself, not just the industry. You're cheating yourself because you didn't.
Every artist that does that, doing that, is every artist, or like,
yes,
would you consider that
from the ones, in my opinion, from the ones who make their music in their house, in the bedroom, all the way to the $1 million studios. If you use AI to complete the entire production, the vocals, the beat, everything, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Well, I'm speaking of it from the point of view where a lot of people don't use it as a tool. A lot of people use it as an instrument, you know,
right?
And they actually use it to create, to you know, that's their method. That's their canvas.
Yeah, but are you creating the different elements that you need to put together to make a record? Or are you using that?
Are you actually becoming an artist? I know exactly what you mean.
That's my point. That's my point. Because let's say if you're a rapper, right? You're a rapper, you got bars, but you don't have beats. I understand that you would use these Sunos and Udios, these platforms, to say, hey, I want a beat that sounds like a trap, yada, 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 right? You get the beat, okay, now you want to rap on it. That may be a good thing to start drumming up music, and that's cool. But when you're about to release the record, remember, this is a AI beat, so it's going to sound like a version of somebody else's music. It's patterning off of somebody else's music. So eventually, when you release it, you're releasing something that's going to sound like someone else. Do you want that your whole career? Do you want that as your particular style? Because it's not your style; it's somebody else's as far as the production. The artist,
but I would counter that with even using it how Dre uses it, even using it how he described it. It's the exact same thing.
Well, what Dre does, and quote me if I'm wrong, but Dre, he's using it for he's grabbing elements, piano elements, string elements. He's grabbing musical elements and then taking it, chopping it, or using it in a part of a song. It's
To
not the
your
whole
point, also trained by someone else, also
right,
trained by
right, right, which is the direct reflection of actually picking a record out of a stack of records and finding a song that you want to sample from, and then sampling that song and then making a different rendition of the song. We've been doing that for years. You're taking an element of the song and then completing it with other elements that you want to add in the record. You're not just putting in a prompt and then using the entire prompt, the entire beat, and just say, okay, that's it. That's all we got. Because now you're doing yourself the disservice of saying, I really didn't create this. I put in a prompt and I let the AI give me whatever it gave me, and I'm rapping on that. Two totally different things. Although it's still similar in the context of, yes, the AI has been trained by other music that's been out there. These companies have to figure out who they need to pay, and they need to pay them. If you're training AI with your music, you need to be paid. You know what I'm saying? Right. Also, if somebody uses AI and it's a derivative of something that's been trained by you, you need to get paid again. So I think eventually it'll be two checks for people who get trained by AI. It'll be the training check, no matter how much that is, and I think it'll be also, if it's a derivative, the same way like sampling is, if they can find that this is a derivative of your music and it's the same notes, the same everything, the same way sampling is used in court by those same rules, you should get paid off that too. I'm not wrong.
I had a theory a while ago, once the conversation really started, like these artists already have this in the making, but it's a hush hush type of thing. They're compiling, they're building a case, basically, you know, like, so when they come, where they can be sure they got it. It's a lot of artists. It's a consortium, should we say, a conspiracy of artists, you know, are planning to take it down, just like sampling, like you said.
And then also keep in mind, let's just take the natural ear, for instance, because, you know, we're fans, you know, as much as I am in the industry, me doing my profession and my career, I'm still a fan of music. Our ears are being trained to notice when it's an AI song.
Yeah.
We get furious. I'm just talking about the people that you've heard these cases so far. We get furious when we figure out that the artist is not being transparent about using AI, and we spot it. Soon as we spot it, we like, oh no, I'm done. It don't even feel the same no more. That for me, that's the one thing that I feel like is going to really, really change this stuff, because at some point in time, it's going to feel like complete artificial bullshit. It's going to feel like that to the fans, unless they rectify how it's being used.
That's what I was getting at earlier when I, mentioned that Dre has been using AI. Like this, he's confirming it right now, but we can easily deduce from that he has been using it. And as long as it sounds good, like I was saying, as long as we can't really tell, it's obvious that he's not, creating an entire piece of music with AI. This is Dr. Dre that we're talking about. And of course he's can we even call him hip hop guy anymore? He's tech guy, so it's just fitting, it's painting the picture for him to be tech guy. He's endorsing AI in our face. And I think that's where we really get mad too, as well. Like you said, what you pointed out, but as well as all the legends, all the people who we deemed as some of the most creative in this thing of ours, just embrace AI. And it's like, this is, the way to go. Or some of them say that, or some of them say, we can just use this. Like, people forget Lupe Fiasco had a whole generator, had a whole lyrics generator.
Right.
And, it flew right over the radar, a lot of people's heads. But, he was fully endorsing it and still is. The reason why it changes the narrative every 2 months. About
No, you're right about that. The reason why I won't fault them for this is because just in natural business, it doesn't matter whether it's tech or music. The ones who are the most popular in the space, the companies give them the opportunity to use the tech first, to modify it, and to see if it's even a thing that is needed in the culture. Although
no,
Timberland did,
no, I think it's the other way around though. I think it's the other way around though. It's they need to be in the culture, not if it's needed in the culture. They need the culture to embrace it. That's what they.
No, you're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right, because they needed to be a part to even make money. At the same token, it's like, okay, it's nothing different than a new keyboard coming in. Like they, like Raleigh, it's a company called Raleigh. They had a new keyboard that came in, and it was just years ago. They've been working on the technology of the keyboard on top of you pressing the notes and getting a natural note. The way you slide your finger across the key, it gives you a different velocity setting and a different, feel. Now, that was a fire technology, but what they did was they gave it to some of the best pianists, some of the best producers, to see if that's something that can, shake up the culture. So you're right on one part. They need for it to be a part of it because it's, they want to make money. They want to do their thing. The other half of it is that if we feel like this product can be used by the culture to do naturally what we do and enhance it, then we're going to embrace it. So even with like Timberland, I mean, let's be honest. They caught Timberland red-handed. Timberland, whatever version of AI he was using, of course, they paid him a shit ton of money and said, hey, use this AI. Let's help modify. Let's help get it to where it needs to be because it's going to be the next biggest thing. Timberland concurred, like, hey, I believe it's going to be the next biggest thing. Let me endorse it. Let me do my thing. The problem was they was at probably version 1.2, 1.3, and whatever they was training, it made an exact derivative of the dude beat that'll be on TikTok. And I actually watch his page. It's fire. Man, that Suno spit that out, and it was exactly how it was. And he did some bullshit. At the same time,
honestly,
no, go ahead.
I think they must have to use AI because they just seem so fucking tone deaf. Like honestly, it must be a thing. Like Timberland and Dre. I
don't believe that. And you don't believe that. You do not believe that they're not creatively still have more juices left to where they can't create no records. Come on now.
But I don't. But let's bring up the article. This is what it is. Like Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine anything AI is good for music. The hit making duo. We're not going to read through this whole thing, of course. By Jordan Holman, but from the New York Times, August 23rd, a few days ago. The part that's standing out is right about in here mid interview. You lived through the destruction of the Napster who caused Napster, caused business. Do you see AI as a similar threat? Of course, Jimmy is. I'm very AI pro, in music creation. We expect him to be on point like that. And we expected Dre to be, of course. Like he's tech guy, like we said. But in the studio, when gifted people have AI, they're going to make better records. I do believe that. What do you think about that?
100%. Like, remember, you have the ability to say, hey, create a prompt for a 5-man and woman vocal chorus sample, and it'll make it. And you can chop it and make some amazing shit. Like, like for other elements, if a certain vocal tone is not in the room right there, you gotta hop on a plane to get to your studio, but you could type in a prompt and get that little vocal riff right then there, for sure.
Most definitely. And that's what we're talking about. Those are the tools. Let's get to what I'm talking about, how they're so fucking tone deaf. The AI companies, what Dr. Dre enters the room. Here, Jimmy, we're talking about AI. Here's the guy to ask. Dr. Dre, I don't see it as a threat. I think the only people who see it as a threat are people who have trouble creating. That's where he is bullshit. Like, I don't believe that. Like, he's using AI. Does he have trouble creating? Like, It's a weird dynamic right here. Like, and of course, like you said, he's not tone deaf. That was, of course, a joke, but a euphemism. Like, because what is he talking about? Especially when he's talking about your point that you just made. Like, it's going to cut out that 5-man chorus that might have been needed for any particular sound that any one of these super producers, like we said, want to get going, which would create, so many things, but it's actually taken away from it. Now,
right.
And I also see go.
No, I'm talking. Go ahead. Finish up. Sorry.
Well, I get my point is made, but it's just terrible I guess it's not really terrible, but for a producer of Dre's caliber, of his pedigree, we just know that this is going to spark a whole wave of other producers. Like they said, I think they say it soon, like a closet AI producers coming out of the woodworks, but what that really looks like is not people coming out of the woodworks who always used it, but people who want to get on board because Dr. Dre uses it, or Timbaland uses it, or will.i.am, uses it. And it's going to, of course, water down everything, but not just water it down. It's going to be so terrible that music is not only even going to be a commodity at any time, any place, or it's going to be only a commodity. Like it's a slippery slope. What's really happening around here? And I hate to be so dramatic about it, but again, that's what this feeling of someone like Dr. Dre actually coming out like this invokes.
I mean, I get your point, but you also got to remember, like, anything that's will eventually deem itself popular it comes from some of the highest valued people in that space. Like, that's how we get to know of it, number one. And secondly, who else do you want to work on this AI besides the illest ones in the game? That's why I'm not mad at a Timbaland, or I'm not mad at a Dr. Dre. I'm mad at how
maybe I don't know. Not Dr. Dre though.
No, because it's about how you use it. Like, even when he says, even when he says the people who are scared of AI, or the people who have trouble creating, in my opinion, I believe that. Like the reason why people had a problem with the machines making the cars is because it wasn't just they had a problem with just making the cars. They had a problem with how they made the cars, did the marketing, displayed it. They played little games with, shit breaking down, recalls. So when a machine come through that can build it from top to bottom with no flaws, of course these other companies are going to get scared. Because what it's doing is it's allowing people another avenue to get these products on the shelves if y'all bullshitting. AI is the same way. But the only difference in my opinion is, with AI, you still have to be the utmost creative with how you use it, is because it's a fine line between the bullshit that you can possibly make, or the surface level things you could possibly make, or something you can make that's even more unique. It's a tool there for sure. Just like Uber is a tool. Uber is a tool, same way. You remember how much we was like, yo, there's absolutely no way I'm getting in the car with a stranger. There's no way I'm getting in the car with a stranger.
I still never have.
You are one out of 2-3 billion people. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's like, once people got comfortable with that, and once they understood, that didn't stop people from driving. That didn't stop people from buying cars. All it did was just add another level of, you can get around this way too. But the original way is still, I gotta buy a car. I gotta get around myself. All I'm saying is, it's gonna always be how you use the technology that defines who you are and what you do, because the fans are not going to let you get away with any level of doing some bullshit and acting like we going to love it. There hasn't been a case yet. Like, they made AI artists. They made AI, versions of hip hop artists, versions of drill artists, and none of that shit worked. It was only when a producer, and this is why I put it more on the producers than I do the artists. It's only when a producer comes and say, hey, we're gonna take a sample of this. We're going to chop it up. We're going to do this, do that, do this, make it yours. And then you're going to come over the top and do this. Only when a producer does that, does it become an original, authentic idea for the artist. That's the reason why these producers are being used by these companies, because these companies want to use this AI a part of the culture. If we say no, it's not happening. If the producers say no, it's not happening. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I say. The producers will be they'll be the ones who decide how to use it, how to implement it, the same way like sampling. The producers figured out how to sample and bring it a part of the culture. Luckily, it worked, and it worked out for not just the people sampling the songs, but in a lot of cases not. It worked out for the people who original song it was. This is another version of that, because for last thing I'll say, in my opinion, and I can be honest, if they find a way to pay the people who training the AI and still get some percentage on the sample joint, and let the new generation of producers do what they do, and have a limit on how you use it or whatever it's going to be to make them ultimately creative, I'll be okay with it. I'll be okay with it, especially if the musicians and vocalists that the voices are trained off of, if they can get paid, then we in good business.
Yeah, definitely got to look at it that way for sure. But that's not what's happening. And I just hope it's not a case of I hope the next thing that I hear from Dre that I'm not looking to see what's AI. I don't want my ear trained for. I don't want to have to do that. Like, I've studied a whole lot of screenwriting and movie theory and stuff, and I can barely watch a movie anymore without just being analytical about it. I really got to turn my brain off, and just embrace myself and just numbing out real quick. And,
right.
But no,
just like ChatGPT, really quick, ChatGPT, you can literally tell ChatGPT to write a prompt, write a whole movie script, 60 minutes, with the idea of a man robbing a bank because his daughter has sickle cell and he has to get it done within 72 hours. And the whole script will come out.
Yeah, it'll probably be terrible too.
Right.
Or that experiment. Yeah.
Right. Or it'll probably be a good starting point for somebody to modify and edit. Who knows?
Man, stop being so optimistic about AI, yo.
I'm Mr. Optimistic. Who knows? It can happen. What I'm saying is it's all about how you use it, because and I agree with you, for an elite writer, it'll be some bullshit if they touch that damn button. But for somebody who's starting off writing and trying to get in the game, it might be a better tool for them. Who knows? At the end of the day, use AI very, very cautiously. Don't, because no matter how much tools we have, you cannot cheat the process. You cannot. No music genre, no business. You cannot cheat the process. That's what it is.
And that is a good point right there, because hip hop seems to be the only genre that is not very embracing of the use of AI. All the other genres really don't care. They making their money.
Them pop records be going crazy. Listen, they running them pop records through that AI machine all day long.
Dre, get back. Tell us what's going on. We'd love to talk about it.
Yeah, man.
As long as you're in good faith. We got record of the day, Rob.
Let's go. Let's go.
Do it this time. Let me get a little good shuffle here. Like I said, as we've been going on, it's been getting a lot more diverse. Still on classic albums, but like in the first run of what we've been doing here, you've picked almost all of the Wu-Tang out of here. Just off sheer literally.
As I would.
We do it randomly. He picks 1 through 10, and I skim through the record, pick number, whatever, and he always picks the Wu-Tang record. I actually took a couple out so we can, talk about something else other than the Wu-Tang.
Yeah, I'm definitely connected to Wu-Tang for sure. Number, let's go 7. Let's go 7. Let's go my magic number. I feel
good. 6, 7. Serendipity, maybe.
I will be picking Wu-Tang records. I don't know. It's a part of me. That's my favorite group of all time, so you know how I go.
Now this is record of the day. We are in classic album mode still. This is not quite an album. This was an EP. Yeah. But it's still regarded as a classic album. And it's so apropos for the dude that we were just talking about through the first half of this conversation. Record of the day is 100 Miles and Running.
Yeah.
You always seem to do something like that too. Or, I'm
relative to the topic. Let's go.
Yeah, it's this is one hell of a record right here.
Man.
Again, regarded as a classic album. It's only 6 records long. Again, it's an EP. But 100 Miles and Running, 5 records long. Just it don't matter. Just don't bite it. Surprise, real. Yo,
come on.
Marshall, this was when they jumped out of the this was when they jumped out of the Ice Cube era. There was not enough to be said about this one.
It was that time where everybody. It was time for people to understand the individuality with each artist. You know what I'm saying? With each artist for sure. You know what I mean? And without Cube there, of course the writing had to pick up. The energy of it had to pick up, and it's crazy because I'm glad that they put that out. They put that out, to kind of just get the people still going and then moving on and continuing, because I think putting a full-length EP out after the Cube thing would have been a little bit more difficult. You know what I'm saying? And then also, it's crazy now that I think about it, that was 6 songs. And I think the next big thing that Ruthless ended up doing was Bone Thugs and Harmony, which was also, I believe, 6 songs, like 6 or 7 records as well. You know what I'm saying? With the Creeping on the Come Up. So I think that was kind of like an Eazy-E or a Ruthless type of idea, which is to put out those short-lived projects. And it did really well. I mean, it went even more crazy with Bone Thugs and Harmony, but that album, I believe, was like the caveat for that whole energy there.
Yeah, most definitely. Produced by Dr. Dre and DJ Yella. 100 Miles and Running, easily the best record on this joint. Yeah, you're right about when it was time for them to establish their own identities.
Yeah,
we got to know Ran for the Pen that he was the entire time alongside Cube. After Cube's gone, that's when we had to realize we absolutely saw Dre for the production that was going on. And that was kind of in response to what Cube was doing in when the squad was dropping for him. Most definitely, and he did his thing. Like, shout out to Dre. We've been talking about Dre the whole episode.
Shout out to Dre, man. And, it's crazy. It's crazy that those albums, that group, NWA. Do you realize that if there was any level of reconciliation and synergy, half the West Coast wouldn't even exist as far as the artists? Like, think about that. If they got back locked in, Eazy-E, Dre, Cube, Ren, Yella, if they got back together and locked in, that would have been another 10 years of nobody else.
Right. But I also come, that argument has a flip side of the coin. There would also be another, crop of artists that would be more in the same vein of something that they had going on. It would just be high. Like,
I think DOC would still, be there. I think it would be artists that are more closer to what they were doing at the moment. You know what I mean? Because you got to remember, like Snoop, they all the way in Long Beach. Warren G all the way in Long Beach. You know what I mean? Cube doing his thing. He got Mac 10 all the way in Inglewood. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like you're right. It definitely would have been a different selection of artists. But the fact that they all broke up, they all kind of in the same vicinity, but spread out in different areas. And they started working with people in other cities. And I think that just created just a great tree. I mean, the NWA tree we talk about all the time. Like NWA tree is a legendary tree and still going and still going. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And like, of course, if Easy wouldn't have passed, like, you know, people like to go by the Straight Outta Compton movie narrative. Like Easy was broke at the end of his life, like, you know, and he just didn't have anything going on. And no, he had Ruth, he had Bone, he for real.
For sure. Ruth is finna go crazy. They'll finna go crazy.
Ren went on to release some of his most critically acclaimed projects, and, you know, actually established himself as a dope ass artist outside of NWA.
BG Knockout and Drayster, you know what I'm saying? They was on the scene doing what they do. They was hitting, and you know,
Dr. Dre went on to do, you know, what he did. Record of the day, y'all. Niggas for
record of the day, man.
100 miles and running, my bad.
100 miles and running. Come on, man. Super classic. Super classic.
Word up. Yeah. You do know how to pick them. Way to not pick some Wu-Tang this time.
I mean, you know,
yeah, you dudes got some kind of clairvoyance going on with this record of the day. You just pick out Dre. We've been talking about Dre the entire episode.
Man, the fact that you have the records, man, we are both connected, man. We're connected to this hip-hop shit for sure.
Things fall apart, y'all. Check us out. We wanted to talk about music. Ransom just dropped an album couple weeks ago.
Yeah, shout out to Ransom.
We took some time to digest it. You know, he's been on a tear for the last few odd years. For real, he had the East joint. He had the Premiere joint. You know, he had the Dr. Williams project. He was just on a Bodie James joint. Or these are all projects, collaboration projects that I'm talking about, not singles. And, you know, fire work from this guy, and now he has released his new album just again a few weeks ago.
You know the one thing I like about Ransom, before we get into the album, the one thing I love about Ransom is he reminds you of the guy in the hood who getting money, whether he's a drug dealer or not, but he's the one that, you know, when you sitting on the porch, you sitting on the stoop, he's coming downstairs and he's just like, yo, y'all good? Y'all straight? You know what I mean? Like, he's the one that everybody look up to because he getting money, being focused, staying progressive. At one point in time, he was with the bullshit, but now he's, you know, he's seen what he needs to be for himself, his family, and his community. And every time you see him, he got a bar for you. Like, that's what I think about. Like, he got a bar for just the same way you used to get those jewels from those old cats, you know what I'm saying, the OGs. And I'm not to call him old, but I'm saying the feeling. Like, he has a very demanding approach, demanding voice. His lyric, like, when I listen to his music, he reminds me of, you know what I'm saying, the ones who really found a way out and find a way to progress in his own community. You know what I'm saying? And this album, The Price of Clarity, is a reflection of that. It's like, no, I'm where I came from, but that will never define me again. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I hear a lot of that in this album. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. Yeah, the name of it was escaping me. The Price of Clarity. It's a really good album for sure. It's a mature album, like you said. For him to have come all this way, he even regards it. He said just very recently that it's his best body of work. It's his best work ever. And yes, it definitely feels like he hit a different stride. It's definitely grown man music. And like you said, he's always known for his command and confidence on the mic. He doesn't waste the bar, of course. Like,
not at all.
Great storytelling and picture painting. But yeah, this album, it read like the book of Ransom or something like that. You know, the lore is deep with this one. And he's been dope since the Clue days, but he seems to again have hit a whole new stride. I think go.
I love the type of titles. Like, if you look at the titles on the album, a lot of it is like, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, ignorance was bliss. Come on, you already know the energy ass song. Soon as ignorance was bliss. That means that's
Well, that was
past tense.
that's the intro. Come on, that's the
No,
intro.
no. But what I'm saying is the titles of intro songs, like even the next one, the prime example. Come on, that's a story. That's like, no, I used to be the one that I could have been made an example of in the streets. Or if you watch me, you could watch the shit that I used to do and the transition that I made. Look at the titles. Good Mornings, but morning is spelled MOURN. Come on, man. Good Mornings. Like, Sorry, My Love, which is my favorite record on the album. Richer Prior Life. Come on, man. The titles is fire. Like, I love artists who take time in every element of the artistry, from the lyrics to picking the beats.
Yeah, he is that guy. Yeah.
He even produces, he co-produces or produces as well. Then the titles of the tracks, everything is not like Live Life Forever or I'm on my grind. Like, none of that. You know what I'm saying? Richer Prior Life. You know what I mean? Like, double entendres even in the fucking titles.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, that's what I love.
I really love that. It's an album that it really does stand on its own. I know we throw that term around, but you don't have to be familiar with Ransom to enjoy this album. And in fact, it's a good entry point if you really, don't check for him and his music. It's good. It's a really good album like that. I did find myself bored at a couple times, and I don't think I have a favorite record. All the titles, like you said, were corresponding, to the theme of the entire album. Of course, again, grown man music. A lot of interesting records, but I don't think I have a favorite record, and that's not a bad thing because again, it is a good album. But a lot of interesting records, like the one with Freeway and Young Chris, it was kind of wild.
And Young Chris, right?
Yeah, the Bullet. Strange record, dope, but kind of a recordy record. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, that was called The Coldest Winter, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, the Coldest Winter, yeah, right. The one with Freeway. But good album. Again, it's not something that you need to be familiar with Ransom as an artist to be able to enjoy, and that's what I do like about the album.
I think Ransom and this album, The Price of Clarity, I think it's a great entry point to the next level of lyricism and music from artists that you probably haven't heard before. You know what I mean? Like you said, like, you don't have to know Ransom to enjoy this album. I think artists like Ransom, RJ Payne, Flea Lord.
Who does he have on there? Whose name is escaping me? The other feature, Nick Grant.
Yeah, Nick Grant, right? Nick Grant. Like, these are artists that you can go down a rabbit hole and just for days and just find great records, because these are artists that, although they haven't gotten their full just deserved yet, they're definitely legends in their space, and they're continuing to put out high quality hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And Ransom is a great starting point to that whole layout. You know what I mean? So I like this album. I'm gonna listen to it a couple of more times when I'm doing my workouts. But I know me. I know that when I find a record that's my favorite, it's hard for me to jump up off of it for a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like that Sorry My Love with Nick Grant, that is stuck in. Man, I play that. I could play one record 40 times if I want to, like that. I'm like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to jump out of that mode and then go back to playing the whole album. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but it's definitely it's super firepower on this whole project. And the fact that I learned that he be producing as well is even doper, man. It's even doper.
Most definitely. Shout out to Ransom. Everybody go check that out. It is running up. It came out a couple weeks ago. So, we've had a few releases that are shining right now, but it's definitely one to check out if you haven't.
100%.
Another thing to check out. Let me go ahead and share this. Wrong share right there. Boom. The Farnell Hill Show.
Hey, Farnell Hill, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Farnell Hill.
I got one question for you. You ain't got to no more.
Farnell, meet Rachel Perkins, your new executive producer.
You are a true icon.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
But your show is stuck in the past and your ratings are down.
I built this empire, and I will burn it down before I let you turn it into some TikTok tonight.
Changes.
Whoa! Prince put his bare ass on that leather. That's Black history.
FML. That's an acronym for my life.
Print that on chat.
What are you doing here?
Better question is, what the you got on?
This is fashion.
I ain't even hit the ceiling yet. We are going to be the laughing stock of the entire talk show world. Damn, that fell hard. Farnell.
Don't worry. I got this. I'm booking great guests. We got
Belle Crawford, Miss Pat.
Dion Cole, Mike Epps.
This ain't a 61-year-old Earther dressed on sitting in a chair.
Are they trying to make you relevant again?
Damn. Bye.
Hold on. This is the Farnell Mother Hill Show. Yeah. We're like one big family around here.
The board meets next week to make a decision on the show.
I can fix this. Farnell Man can.
Bill Barnett Man King.
The Farnell Man can.
Get into it.
Yeah, let's go.
If we don't know, the Farnell Hill character comes from the classic show Martin. It just feels so good that all of these shows are coming back with reiterations.
Yeah, like it's funny because the Farnell Hill, the whole episode with Farnell Hill on the Martin show. If you watch Martin, you already know the whole rundown of that episode. It was actually 2 episodes that they continued on to. The best thing about it is that we're living in kind of like this alternate universe thing where a lot of times we actually believe that the Martin show lives in a part of our universe or bleeds over, or like other shows, even Do the Right Thing. We think that those events really happen in our world, or
shame what they did.
Yeah, or Boys in the Hood. Ricky, we actually think it's in our world. You know what I mean? So this show is Martin as executive producer, but he's bringing back this concept of the idea, like, what if the Farnell Hill show was like the Arsenio Hall show in our universe or in a different universe? You know what I mean? How would that go? So it's a play off of the Arsenio Hall show being built, the behind the scenes of it, the actual show itself, and everything that can happen with building that type of a show. You know what I mean? Which is dope.
It's dope, like you said, because we're so immersed, and it's so ingrained in the culture. Like, there was no reason to believe that Farnell was a heel at all. Like, he was definitely the antagonist to Martin, but he was the man. He had the lake, like, for real. The catfish was so good. He had half the county, like, for sure. Like, he had his own show, which was way, depending on how you look at it, was damn near more popping than Martin's radio show.
Was. In that time when the episode dropped, Martin wanted to be like Farnell Hill. So he was like,
exactly.
At the end of the episode, he was like, everybody pack your bags. We're going to California. You know what I'm saying? It's like, then that whole second episode happened. So it's like, what if that Farnell Hill show was actually real and it continued all the way till now? So now we're getting what that show would be like. And I think that that's genius. Seeing, first off, Tommy Davidson is one of the funniest dudes probably ever. He's hilarious. And everybody thought from A Living Color, everybody thought that Tommy Davidson, they thought he was going to get his big break eventually. But there was so many geniuses there, you know what I'm saying? And whatever happened in his life, I mean, he still had a great career, but we all thought that Tommy Davidson was going to get a big break at a show, a movie, or something. And all of the movies he's been a part of kind of didn't really pan out per se. But I think this is a great way.
All of them have classic moments. All of them,
for sure, 100%.
All of them have iconic moments. Like you said, these are these stories that are interwoven. Like, I've been to the bodega that, them two, you got to lick it. I've been to that bodega, like, or something, like, it's for real. This is,
yeah.
So I know what you're saying, of course. And again, shout out to Tommy Davidson. He's been at it for a long time, and like you said, been one of the most funniest. Continue. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. I just think that this is another point where he can make a big break. I hope it turns out really, really well. It looks funny for sure. One thing that I will say is, and I don't know if this is true, but if this show kind of looks like or operates like how The Office operates, it's gonna be super hilarious. Like
it looks like it,
because The Office is like working in the office, the lives of the people involved, the jokes, the humor, but also how to operate a business. If they do this show like that, like the front part of the show, of the actual show going, them taping, then the behind the scenes of it, then
and it looked like it because Wendy Raquel's fine ass in the show, of course, her fine ass is in the show. She broke the fourth wall clearly in the trailer. Yeah.
Thank you. That's what made me think that it's going to be played like that. I think that's genius, especially for a multicast of mostly Black people to do a lot of improv and a lot of that energy. I think that shit is fire. Right. And it got some young comics a part of it too. And this is one particular woman that she comes from the like the comedy, like the Big Jaw world, and like all of the independent comics and independent filmmakers. So that's dope. You know what I'm saying? The dude with the dreads from Wild 'N Out, like it got a lot of legendary acts and it got a lot of great cameos. I mean, the fact that you got Damon Wayans pulling up is a big thing.
Yeah,
because of course, not even his brothers could get him on. You know what I mean? Like, so that's great.
Martin is executive producing, and he made his appearance. Kim Whitley is always fun.
Yeah, always classic.
Yeah. It definitely looks fun. And like you said, shout out to Tommy Davidson. They said they've been working on this for about 5 years.
Yeah,
and he also said a little while ago that he made up most of Vernell Hill when he got on set with Martin. He said when he got on the show, like he was written into the show, and he said when he got to the set to shoot, he said Martin was talking shit to people. Martin was talking down and talking bad to people, and he was like, "Yo, what's up?" And then he was like, "Yo, this is my show." Like, it's a clip out there that's going around, but he was like, "Yeah, when the shooting started, I pretty much ignored the script." And was like, that's how he came up with the leg. That's how that's how the catfish was so good. He was just trying to just stand him up in every way because he knew the assignment and he executed.
Man, and that became one of the classic moments, probably top 10 classic moments in Martin for sure. Sure. You know what I mean? So that's great. I'm glad that they're revisiting that energy. I hope a lot more production houses revisit different ideas. I mean, in my opinion, I'm not saying it started here, but when Will Smith did a great, and the team and the writers and whatnot, when they did the Fresh Prince reboot of the Fresh Prince, in my opinion, that was super awesome because not only did they use the characters, but they created a totally different story of how it can be told like nowadays, you know what I mean? And it was so enriched in really good culture. The fashion was dope. The energy was dope. The actors were fire. It was fire. But then, we're starting to get more shows that are reliving some of our classic TV moments. And I think that that's fabulous, especially the way we work and the way we do things, now as a culture. I think that that's fire. You know what I'm saying? So continue to do that. You know what I mean? I mean, they got the Different World coming out. It's looking good, looking great. You know what I mean? Vernell Hill. It's, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I mean, of course, put out new IPs, but, if we got a chance to relive some of these classic shows, why not, man? Why not?
Yeah. Again, like just like we said with the A Different World, is as long as it's not unnecessary, as long as it's dope and it's something that we want and not unnecessary. Because when it crosses into that territory, it's like, why'd you mess with this? It's a fine line to walk when we're messing with our beloved IPs, like you said.
Yeah, just don't redo A Living Color, because that can't be done. That can't be done. You can't redo A Living Color under no circumstances.
I think there's always space for a new comedy troupe and a new name and a new aesthetic. That's all just sketch comedy. So yeah, right. But so if they were to name anything in Living Color 2 or whatever, it's nobody's buying into that. They would have to be exceptionally funny or something.
Right.
Yeah, man. That's what we got, dude. Things fall apart. Is the name of the show. We love everybody rocking with us again. This has been a journey, in this short journey right now. Of course, we're gonna do what we got to do to keep these episodes coming for y'all.
You know it.
We got a lot of interesting people looking. We got a lot of the right people looking. We just want to give back. We want to make sure that we're coming up with concepts and topics for y'all to join the conversation on, because that's what it's all about.
Man, we appreciate y'all. You already know what it is. The Council Poly Rob, local astronauts. That's all y'all need to know, man. We appreciate y'all for sure.
I am Frank 5D, writer, photographer, all that fly shit people adore. Peace, y'all.
Peace.